What's up, Rams, and welcome back to Cam's Corner. I'm your host, as always, Cameron Evig. CSU Football comes off, I guess I'll leave it at tough week after that monumental blunder they had in the final seconds against Utah State. See what they have to do to bounce back this weekend when they play the Broncos. Plus, time flies, the NFL season is already almost over somehow. I'll give you my top 3 takeaways from pro football so far. And end off the night, we'll of course finish things off with the Ram of the Week. All that and more on Cam's Corner, starting right now. Let's kick things off with CSU football. Has anybody seen Coach Adazio this week? Well, hopefully he's on a flight back to Boston College after that disaster in the final seconds in Logan. Now, maybe firing him is an overreaction, but come on. Someone's got to let him know that if you throw the ball directly at the ground after the snap, it stops the clock. It's called a spike. And it gives your kicker time to set up to make the game-winning kick. Crazy. But whatever. I think Steve has been scrutinized enough this week. So much, in fact, that he cut off all media availability leading up to the game Saturday. But enough with roasting Adazio. When you look to this weekend, the Rams are going to need to forget that last game fast because they got Boise State coming into town. Now, usually when you hear BSU is coming to town, it puts some fear into Ram fans' hearts, considering they have not beat the Broncos in the 10 games they have faced off in since Boise joined the Mountain West in 2011. But this Boise team is about as scary as the haunted house I went to this weekend, and wow, was 13th floor bad. The team from the Blue Turf is 3-4 on the year, just like the Rams, but in my opinion, they have a more impressive resume, being only one of 2 teams to beat 25th ranked BYU and losing to number 15 Oklahoma State by only 1 point. But if Nevada and Air Force taught us anything, it's that BSU isn't even as close to as untouchable as they have been in the Mountain West in the past. And unlike the Falcons, who beat them the last time out, Boise is not a running team. Instead, the focus for CSU has to be QB Hank Ballmeyer and his favorite pass catcher, Khalil Shakir. Khalil leads the way for the Broncos with 659 yards receiving and 4 touchdown grabs. The Rams let Devin Thompson go for 107 last week, and they have to do a much better job on Boise State's star quarterback and receiver tandem if they want to shut down this Boise offense. If they play better at quarter than they did in Logan, who knows? I feel like they have a pretty good shot at beating Boise under the lights in Canvas this week. But that's enough with CSU. Let's move on to some more football action, but from college to the NFL. Wow, where's the time gone? We're already halfway through the season, and pro ball has been really fun to watch this year, as it usually is. Right now, Cardinals look like the best team in the league, and wow, what's happening with Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs? Either way, let's go into some more depth and talk about my top 3 takeaways from the NFL through 7 weeks. My first point has to be the NFC is absolutely loaded. Looking at the NFC, comparing it to the AFC, you got the Cardinals, you got the Buccaneers, the Packers, the Rams, the Cowboys, all in contention for that Super Bowl trophy. Do not sleep on the Cowboys, let me tell you. Their only loss against an insane Buccaneers team, actual dark horse for that championship, which kills every other NFL fan. But the Buccaneers are dominant in every game they play. People have just forgot about Tom Brady and the Bucs. Nobody seems to be talking about him. I mean, besides the fact that he got his 600 touchdown in the last game, and that guy got ripped off for that ball. But besides the point. Only team in the AFC that seems like they have a shot is the Bills. Josh Allen and the crew look really good over there. Titans are not contenders. You cannot convince me otherwise. Completely overrated squad. Derrick Henry has to run for 250 a game from here on out for them to be in the Super Bowl. And speaking of the AFC, my second point, the Chiefs are not okay. Look, I fell into the trap like everybody else. Chiefs had a bad start to the season. I thought everything was going to get better. Pat Mahomes cannot be this bad. And then he has thrown 9 interceptions this year and has had his fair amount of fumbles as well. Teams seem to have figured out Tyreek Hill. put 2 players on him, and he can't do anything. You're going to have to drive the ball without throwing a 100-yard streak to Tyreek. No Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He has that injury. Didn't even look good when he was on the field. And the defense, what has been historically very average, is not getting carried this year, and it's showing. It shows how they've been not very good in years past as well, but the offense has just been so dominant. Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs are in trouble. And to finish things off, I know the Cardinals are on top right now, but the Rams are still the best team in the NFL. Look, the Cardinals are 7-0. The best record. They beat the Rams. I know. Byron Murphy looks like a stud at quarterback. You got Isaiah Simmons and Budda Baker at those safety positions looking good as well. But for me, this Cardinals defense is just not good enough to fully believe in them yet. You got J.J. Watt out for the year now with an injury. He's a big part of their interior defensive line, and it's going to be tough without him. You can't bet against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. They're going to make plays every single game. They're the best at their positions. The Rams are still better. Matthew Stafford looks like an absolute god at the quarterback position, with Cooper Kupp having the most receiving yards in the NFL. The Rams are better than the Cardinals and are the best team in the NFL right now. Those are my main takeaways from 7 weeks of pro ball. But now we got to move on to the Ram of the Week. Here is your Ram of the Night. Now look, there was not too much action this week for the Rams, so I don't have a play. But there's still a CSU athlete I would love to feature. My Ram of the Week goes to CSU volleyball star Karina Lieber. Karina had 12 kills and 2 blocks in CSU sweep of the UNLV Rebels last week, and put the Rams on top of the Mountain West at 9-1, positioning them at the very top, as I just said. And the Rams are currently playing right now in Colorado Springs, with the score being 2-0 CSU. Looking like CSU can get another win at the Air Force Academy. Obviously, 2-0 for CSU right now at CSU. This is a big game for CSU, though. They need to continue to win so they can keep Utah State off them for that first place spot. The Rams look to continue to dominate. And that's all I got for you tonight. But hey, you better stick around, because Big Tom Isaacson's going to give you all your entertainment news. I'll see you next week.